Wait, where's the intro?
That's my baby. I'm dying. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Best intro, don't you think, Steve? I mean, Dustin. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, you said there wasn't going to be an intro.
Yeah, well, there's going to be an intro every Friday. Welcome back, you guys. I know we were on a little vacation for a couple of weeks. I was a little under the weather. So we're back, and we've got a great show for today. Today has a very important meaning as, you know, I love children. I work with children, and this show is really, really crucial for all parents and anyone who's interested to really tune in, ask those questions, because this is the show to answer, to get the answers to your questions, especially on this topic. I'm going to talk about our sponsor read real quick. Many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need help, please call 856-651-8117. Again, that number is 856-651-8117. And I have to tell you, we have a great, great show tonight. I've got two very, very special guests, Dennis and Dawn Smith. Dennis, I'm not even going to try to say your last name, but we've got Dawn on, and we're going to talk about some really important, crucial topics today. And I believe today is sex trafficking, Human Trafficking Awareness Day. So this is a very important weekend. I have a good friend of mine, Amber Nicole Miller, who is out there in California, Huntington Beach, who is doing a rally, a protest against human sex trafficking. As we know that California is huge into sex trafficking, whether it be male, female, the majority of them. We'll talk about the statistics there. But kudos to all those who are standing up against this. This is the pandemic. This is something that it hits home for me and so many others. So let's go at it. We'll go ahead and bring on Dennis. Oh my gosh. And Dawn. Hi, you guys.
How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm better. It's good to have you guys on.
That's good. I'm glad you're better.
Yes, it's good to have you guys on. I was just touching base with Amber Nicole Miller out in Huntington Beach, and they are currently having their sex trafficking protests out there. And she did it last year and started her own group. I believe the SoCal out there in, oh my goodness, I can't think today. But she started it a year ago, and today she's doing her protest. She was supposed to be on tonight, but we'll probably have her on another night. But let's go.
Way more important.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to really talk about, let's define what human sex trafficking is and who does it entail.
Well, first of all, human trafficking doesn't just involve sex. It is a big portion of it, but there are a lot of people just in human slavery at this point. So it is a huge problem. I've got some statistics. I won't go into them quite yet, but it is not just sex trade. It affects everyone. It's not just men. It's not just women. It's not just children. It's all of them. So, and it is a huge problem that we're kind of shoving under the rug right now.
Yeah, that is something that kind of disappoints me, that we don't have more people standing up against this. Or is it just that people are in denial about this particular topic?
I think a lot of this has to do with social media. So you see a lot of those social media posts where people are like, if this is on your car, don't get in it. They're targeting you. If you see a water bottle on your car, they're targeting you. And a lot of that is false information. And so people see so much of that false information, they fall victim to just the everyday things that happen that they're not even aware of. Like some guy asking you the time at the grocery store could be just seeing your awareness. And that could be more scary than a water bottle on your car.
I agree. I'll jump into a little scenario real quick. How I learned a little bit about it. I mean, I knew I was in the public eye for a while, and I mean, how many of us ladies have gotten penis pictures or dick pictures in our inbox?
She's
And
like, yeah,
you
all
know,
the time.
guys masturbating.
Yes.
Right. So I don't have those anymore, thank God, because I've cleaned up a lot of I'm not in that spotlight where I track that, and thank God, because I'm so tired of seeing it. But imagine how they're coming at our daughters and our sons. It doesn't matter if it's a male or female. From at this point, it's both that are affected. My daughter is now 18. However, if I was not a stern parent when she was 13 and took her phone and went through her phone, I could not believe the stuff I saw. We're talking Snapchat, we're talking Instagram, we're talking Twitter, Facebook, all of the social media, and even some of the things I wasn't aware of other social media outlets, but there are pickup joints for kids. I mean, my daughter, let's face it, our children don't look like they're 13.
No.
Right.
Right.
And
It's very, very very misleading.
Right. Let's not talk about the food. No.
hidden apps that kids can have on their phone that you don't even know are an app that could be something that they're hiding pictures, hiding anything on it.
Yeah. That's actually one of the big things that I talk about because, like, no offense to Dennis, but I grew up, I'm a little bit younger, not a lot, but a little bit younger.
All right.
But I grew up in the age of social media developing, so I try to keep on top of all of these things. And I can't even tell you how many times I keep telling people, I'm like, keep your kids off TikTok. Like, it's no place for kids. It's full of pedophiles. I'm like, there used to be chat roulette, but now it's like, I think it's Omegle or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, what a place!
That's I was gonna say that's the next thing.
Or Tinder. I heard Tinder's really bad too.
And just even the apps that my son is 8 and he like plays Among Us and Minecraft and Roblox, and he knows dang well at this point that if I catch him chatting with anybody, it's going down. Like, and I don't.
Who are you talking to?
Like,
who is that?
Yeah, like you're not allowed to chat with people.
Right,
if somebody tries to contact you, you're not allowed to chat back. And especially my son's autistic, so he takes everything very literally. So like everything across the board, he will like answer your question deadpan. Like this is the honest truth, and this is what it is. And I'm like, no,
don't do that. You have to lie sometimes.
And see, we have to be the stern parent. If the parents are not active in your children's lives, guess what? Someone is. Yeah. Someone is very active, and it could be many people.
Absolutely, and they're the ones that are making the imprint on them.
Yep.
Well, that's
and we're talking
like the one of the things about grooming, and there's like stages of grooming, and one of the stages is filling a need.
Yes.
And if they're filling the need of the disciplinarian or the getting the love from somebody or getting guidance in a way that they never have, I am so open with my kids about things that because I want them to come to me about stuff, like even little things. Like I tell my kids there's no such thing as bad words. They're adult words and kid words. Okay.
Yeah.
Adult words and kid words. And you're not allowed to use that because you're not an adult. And they totally understand. But as long as you give your kids a reason why you're saying no and a good logical understanding of why you're saying no, not just there's pedophiles on there. They're going to be like, okay, mom.
Right.
They're going to want to they're going to want to learn, like what are you talking about? I want to know.
Yeah.
And see, I had to have that conversation with my daughter when I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was shocked. I cried. It took me 24 hours before I brought it to her attention that I went through her phone, and I cried. And the things that these men, look, I had her phone and they were popping up at me, and I'm saying, and I was just playing along, kind of seeing what kind of things they were sending my daughter. And I played along like her. And I was like, oh my God, this is her mother. This is what you're sending to my 13-year-old daughter. And the next thing they know is they'll either they keep sending it or they delete and block.
Or they get more and more persistent.
Yes.
It's
yes. And so
They're like, hey, some attention is better than no attention.
and we had
It wasn't the right person I was going for,
I
but
had to have that conversation with my daughter. I had to have that conversation. I cried and I said, my God, what is it that I need to do to help you? Like, I need to explain to you what this is. This is not appropriate for your age group or any group. You shouldn't have to open up your Snapchat when you're trying to Snapchat with your friends and just have an innocent time. And then you open it up and you have sex scenes or you have somebody masturbating. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. I saw it
And
all.
that happens. It does. I had a friend actually reach out to me. She has a son, and she broke into his room. You know, he wasn't answering the door, whatever. He threw his tablet underneath the blankets. She pulls it out. There's some guy sitting there, and all of a sudden, boom, it was gone. And she contacted the police. They can't trace it, whatever. It was under some website that they can't trace. But these people are searching out little kids and just getting them to talk to them, getting them to take their clothes off, getting them to do whatever. Whatever they can get them to do. And it's little kids and they're manipulating their minds, and it's sick.
Yeah, the things that are said is just, I mean, the grooming, the stages, like you said, there are stages.
Yeah.
They're your friend.
I'm a single mom, and my biggest thing as being a single mom is like dating. Is I don't know who's trying to get at me or my kids.
Yeah.
And that is horrifying to me.
Yes.
Because no one will actually date you to get to your children. And that's disgusting.
I mean,
more disgusting than a dick pic. And we all know those.
Yeah, and I have to say that I can relate to that as a single mom. And it seems like they know the right children to prey on. Maybe we could talk about some of that, what they look for in a child, or like how can we protect our children? Like, how do we educate them without going too detailed with them?
That is the hard fine line. First of all, I will tell you right now, I put very large boundaries on my children about what they can do online. I don't care if other people can do it. I don't care. I worry about when they go to other people's homes, but at the same time, in this house, we don't do that. But at the same time, I make it very clear to them, when you are online, if you are at Tristan's house and Tristan is online playing Roblox and somebody is asking you what your last name is, what school you go to, what town you live in, you never answer those questions.
Yes.
As a little, they can understand that. Mm-hmm. When they start to get more into the 12, 14-year-old range, even 10 at this rate, as kids are going, you start to get more in depth in those conversations. And you have to be honest. I'm from the world of AOL. Okay, chat rooms on AOL, which was like what child pornography.
Oh wow!
Like they just bring them into your living room now, and that's where it all started. I was 15 years old and I was groomed and I was almost taken from my home, and this was absolutely like a lot of years ago. So like now, everything you do brings people into your living room.
Yeah, you bring your cell phone anywhere. You bring it everywhere you go, and you're opening up an app. You're opening up something. You're talking to people all over the place. In the bathroom, in your bedroom, in your living room, your kitchen, your car as you're driving. People are with you all the time, and they have access to you now way more than they did years and years ago.
That's the other thing. Some of these apps have your location. They literally, I could locate my daughter like that. I knew her address and everything. Like, I mean, I know my address, but I could click on the app
and you can follow her down the road. You can follow her. So I know she's at this intersection.
Like I have, like Apple is great. It has like the whole location app. I let one person track me. It's my best friend because I'm a runner. So like when I go running, I make sure that somebody is tracking me at all time.
Yes.
But also I make sure that stuff is turned off everywhere else. And one day my best friend is like, your location is turned off on Snapchat. I'm like, because it's never been turned on. Like,
we lost it. Where'd you go?
history of me having Snapchat hasn't been turned on. I don't let people, like, all of those apps that you turn on, and they're like, do you want to allow your location? No.
Yeah, you got to
of
pick
course
and choose
no.
that.
Yes.
Right.
You know what? I want to go into real quick because I'm sure people are like, who the hell are these people? Dennis, tell everybody, HB Radio, who you are, what your background is, and same thing with you. Oh my gosh, you guys, go ahead and tell us your background.
All right. My name is Dennis Zawilla, former law enforcement with Kenosha County Sheriff's Department, former supervisor and a K-9 officer. I basically, when I left the Sheriff's Department, I opened up On Point training to basically give back to the people, give back to the public, their safety, let them know what they can do to help others, be aware of what's going on. I teach medical classes. If you're in a car accident, if something happens, we don't know what's going to happen. Just
riots.
Riots here in Kenosha. You never know what's going to happen. I want people to be able to save themselves, save their loved ones. So like I said, I teach medical classes, concealed carry classes, firearms training, hand-to-hand combat, knife fighting, stick fighting, all of that kind of stuff. Couple all of that with scenario-based training. So you're not just going to a range shooting from, distance. We're actually moving. We're setting up different types of scenarios. We have strobes going. We have different types of situations, scenarios, all of that, so people can base it on true to life training. Everything from, like I said, the medical training to the hand-to-hand stuff. It's not just you're going to watch a PowerPoint. You're going to actually engage, and it's all hands-on type training. I've been doing this for over 18 years. Again, like I said, I've dedicated my time to doing this and to giving back to people. Right now it's starting to pick up. It started to pick up mostly last year just due to the fact of everything going on with the riots and people just feeling unsafe around their house, around their neighborhoods, that kind of stuff. A lot of it has been mostly women's self-defense classes lately. A lot of kids going, hey, my daughter's going to college. I want them to go away for the first time and be safer, per se, their first time away from home. So we do a lot of mom and daughter classes. We do a lot of stranger danger classes with kids we just ran one last weekend from 3 years old all the way up until I think 16-ish. And we donate those for free, just so people can have the knowledge. We give small seminars while the kids are eating, playing around, that kind of stuff. We give seminars to the parents as to everything that we're discussing tonight on grooming, trafficking, abductions, all of that. We want knowledge to get out there. So that's basically what we do. That's a little bit of my background as far as, what I've done in the past and what I hope to continue in the future.
And Dawn?
Hi. I am a survivor. So I'm a sexual assault survivor. I am a grooming survivor. Thank God I'm not a traffic survivor. But I'm also a runner. So I run alone a lot. In running training for a Chicago Marathon, I actually ran pre-dawn a lot. So I went and learned a lot of ways to defend myself in case I did get attacked, because running when it's not daylight is probably not the best idea. But you do what you got to do. I'm also a mom of 2, and I am fiercely protective of them and want to keep up with everything that's going on. I joined Dennis not too long ago because I wanted to give him the ability to have a women's perspective of this, because let's face it, men and women are very different when it comes to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
For example, we don't have pockets.
No.
I have pockets in everything. You could have like 16 pockets and like one hidden pocket within the inner. I don't understand you guys' need for pockets, but
we carry a lot of stuff.
I didn't realize.
It's like a Swiss Army knife. We got shit everywhere. Hey, you need a tissue? I got that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here's where I carry mine, right there, right here.
I saw that while you were working out. Dennis took a picture, and I was like, "Hey, she's got a knife in her boob."
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Why?
This is
Because
where
you
I
don't
keep
have
my
a-
knife.
Who have pockets?
Right.
I
Everything's
couldn't-
lady.
like, honestly, it started out as utilitarian. I used to work in fast food, opened a lot of boxes. You know, where am I going to carry a freaking box cutter when you have no pockets?
Look,
men's
boobs are
pants have
good for a lot of things. I don't have many now, but
You don't
boobs
have
were
many?
great for a lot of things. Cell phones,
You
knives,
had more than
guns.
two?
Yes.
It's an all-purpose carrier, but
Cash.
but at the same time, for me, it's concealed and it's not something that people look for. And I always tell people that
Yes.
I'm not a fan of mace, for example, because when I run with
that's a
mace, it's
whole nother
usually
story.
for dogs that are attacking or whatever. But
Mhm.
I hate mace because it can make you defenseless.
Mhm.
This is concealed. No one knows it's there. I'm running and someone attacks me. I guarantee you I'm going to get to this, okay, before you know it's there. So I like the idea of it being concealed. So even if I had a pocket, I probably wouldn't wear it there. But
Yeah, probably.
that's just me.
Just
Anyway,
put your gun in your boobs. Put your gun in your boobs.
I could.
I have a small. Yeah.
I'm trying
Hey,
to
there's
get
pull it in your
like this. Like,
We are actually working on a clothing
Clothing
line for
line.
Conceal Carry.
yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
they
it'd be
make the
awesome.
micro minis. You know that you can. They're
Yeah.
really tiny.
Yeah, those are
But they
like
shoot
James
too.
Bond guns.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
Basically,
saw.
like,
No, go ahead.
Self-defense for us is like a huge thing. I came from a very abusive marriage, and when Dennis and I met, I was going through a lot of trauma, and he empowered me to know that I don't have to worry about him. And I have two little kids in a small apartment, and I didn't feel safe having a gun here, but now I do. And I didn't feel safe like being by myself, but now I do. And just watching these women that we teach in these classes go from this moment where they're like, I don't know if I can do that. And then all of a sudden I'm 200 pounds. I'm not easy to take down, like, and taking me down or him down. And,
Mhm.
you know, like I lift, he lifts way more than I do, but we're not easy to take down. And these little tiny girls will just take us down in like moments. And then the look of, on their face when they do, giving them that power back that's
Priceless. It truly is.
I can't wait. I still want to learn some stuff myself.
yeah.
I'm a firearms instructor, and I was so anti-gun a few years ago. Like, my kids didn't play with guns.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like so anti-gun.
we weren't even allowed to
everything.
have water guns.
Yeah,
It was
no
bad.
water guns, nothing. I was that mom, okay? And so now I have lots of guns, and I can't wait to get more. And I want to do like tactical training, and I'm like, every time I see guns,
We
I'm
got
like,
you.
oh,
I know a guy.
Yep.
I-
Let's do some option
yeah.
courses.
I hope you know.
We need to do like what's it called? Like the course training. There you go. We'll do some of
Yes.
that.
Dennis, you do
Oh,
that,
it's
don't
fun.
you, Dennis?
I do all the scenario-based training courses, all that kind of stuff, from live fire, dry fire, progressive, from basic pistol, basic holster draw, to advanced moving and shooting. You're going to shoot from standing, kneeling, sitting, supine, prone, transitions, mag changes, use of cover, concealment. We go through everything. Again, it's just to make sure that when you're out in that environment, you know how to get to someplace safe. You know when to reload, when not to reload, what you're looking at doing to get yourself and your loved ones safe. If you can get out of there by any means, get out of there before a fight even starts. We're not trying to play Superman. We're not trying to play a fucking hero.
No one's in
Yeah.
a plunger here.
We're
Okay.
trying to get ourselves and our loved ones out of that bad situation.
Yes.
If we can do that without drawing a weapon or anything, fucking do it. I mean, that's just do that 100% of the time. If your back is at the wall and you have to draw that gun, I teach you how to know how to use it, when to draw it, when to use it, and how to do it correctly. Because obviously you as a USCCA instructor, you know the laws. Just as
Yes.
you can't deploy that weapon just because someone's stealing your fucking TV. You know,
Yes.
your life or someone
Yes.
else's life has to be in danger. And that's what I teach you, is how to do it. And now we run those scenarios. We'll run a scenario off an ATM machine. So basically we set up a fake one at the gun range. You're now at that ATM machine and somebody comes up to you and says, hey, give me all your fucking money. Well, do you give them your money Do you not? You know, we'll run through those scenarios with a force-on-force situation with, simunition rounds where we're not using live rounds, but each of us have a gun. We're fully masked, fully protected. Do you give the money or do you decide to fight? The decision's going to be yours, and that choice is going to dictate if it escalates or de-escalates. Most of the time, those people just want what they want. If they wanted to kill you, they're 20 feet away. They'd have shot you and taken your shit. They want your money. So at that point, give them your money. Who the fuck cares? And money, get rid of it. If it can save you, save your life, save your loved ones, give them the money and then
save you the legal process.
Absolutely. If that fight escalates, then it escalates. But give them what they want. Let them take it. Don't go with them, obviously. That's a whole nother story. But it's just different ways. But yeah, we run all those types of scenario training, all the basic tactical type stuff. All of our stuff is done with drills.
Even our like when we do the women's self-defense courses and stuff, I don't take off my bracelets. I don't take off my watch. Right. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna go home with bruises. It's gonna happen because this is real life. We have a girl that we've been training like privately, and she's got she's a model. She's really. But she travels a lot, so she gets scared. But she's got those long nails, and every time she goes to grab me, she's like, "Ooh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "I don't care. Grab me."
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
forceful. I'm going to hurt you. This is real life. Would you learned that somebody attacking you? "Oh, I'm sorry." No, you wouldn't.
My bad.
Yeah. Look, I've learned that nails are really pretty, and I used to have those really pretty, cute nails, and then I got to shooting, and I wanted to accurately shoot, so I had to take them suckers off.
Right.
Yes.
It's true.
Now I just grow my own natural ones.
So I don't have to. I haven't cut my hair in like 18 months, let alone can go get my nails done. Like,
right, exactly. So I learned that like my nails were always interrupting my shooting. So my shooting was never accurate because my nails would always get in the way of something.
Absolutely.
And so I always tell women, I'm like, they're beautiful, but I'm telling you, if you want to save your life, sometimes them nails could.
Yeah.
It takes a couple seconds and you can't get your gun, you can't get your trigger right. I mean,
definitely.
Even those acrylics, when the people are like, "Well, I could use this as a weapon." No, you can't. They're acrylic.
No.
They're not cutting anything, honey. Like they're not sharp.
Right.
Okay.
Well, a lot of what we've had to do with her is modify. So she can't really make a fist per se because of the nails. So a lot of what we're doing is palm strikes or elbow strikes, knee strikes, just, everything on that end because of the fact that when she goes to grab and hold, her nails get in the way. So we have to modify everything. But I also explained to her when you go to hit somebody, if it turns into a hit, it's going to be a hit with the fist. But
all those will break off, but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
it's okay. And those suckers hurt.
I wouldn't know, but I've heard.
It just sounds like Destin and I will be making a trip to Wisconsin out there because I know that we definitely are very much interested in, I know I am for sure, tactical training. And I definitely want to learn some moves to protect myself. I just want to say, like, just a year ago, it was about a year ago here at Fox Valley Mall, and I'm literally like a couple towns over.
I know
there would be, I'm sure you know, there would be like a group, and these are women. These are women that will lure young girls or young boys and lure them out to the parking lot, and then there'll be a group of people waiting for them, and they're gone within seconds.
I have worse for you. Some of these children are born into this trafficking. So they're groomed from birth to lure your children off the playground. Okay.
Wow.
Do you know how scary that is as a mom? Because I'm not I think I'm a good mom, but I'm not always like the 100% most attentive mom because I'm at the park and they're playing and I'm okay. This is my time to catch up on social media and have a little mom time where someone's not asking me for a juice box or not asking me stupid questions. So I'm, catching up on my social media and texting him. We're scheduling stuff. When are we? Because we do a lot of fitness stuff too. So we're like, when are we hitting the gym? When are we doing this? Blah blah blah. Because it's an all around thing. And I will think about this, and I'll be like, I have to pay attention because these people can get my kids off the playground
in seconds
so fast just by using a child.
Yes,
a child. You're like, oh, they're playing. That's fine. It's not fine. It's not.
I didn't even think about that.
about California. Now, granted, we all know the East Coast is the hot spot for trafficking. Okay, it's huge, huge. We're third here in the Midwest. Third. That's not okay, especially in this whole region right here in the Chicago.
Yeah, where you guys are through us to like Rockford out there.
The airport's too close.
Yeah, and you have the main arteries. You have 90, 94. Obviously, you know those roads.
88.
They run straight through. They're major arteries off of Kenosha, Chicago, Milwaukee, Rockford, out to Naperville, Aurora.
Yes.
That's where they're picking up all of these people and trafficking them. They may switch cars 10 times in 15 minutes and you can't track them. We've had people that we've pulled over that we get a hit on a vehicle that they're running such and such a vehicle. They've switched that vehicle 6 times in 10 minutes. By the time they get to 94, they've moved that vehicle 3 times. We don't even know what vehicle they're in now. We find that vehicle, it's abandoned. We don't know. We have to wait for a report to show another missing vehicle. If you're sleeping at 10 o'clock at night, you don't know your vehicle's stolen.
Yes.
So we don't know what vehicle, but they've switched. They're now finding vehicles in parking lots that have been abandoned for 2 to 3 days. And by the time you catch them, they're 4 days ahead of you.
Yeah.
It moves so quick. It's so organized.
And if you think about it, like where we live, like, okay, Milwaukee's infrastructure is trash, but where we live, the infrastructure, think about how far you are from a major highway, like from where you are right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm right on the lake, but the highway is 7 minutes from me.
Yeah.
And if you think Gurnee, like, even when I go to work in Mundelein, it's 10 minutes away. It is so fast to lose these people. And mind you, human trafficking isn't just like international borders and they're taking my kids overseas. No, they're just taking them to Michigan where no one knows them and aren't going to be looking for them.
And let's not talk about the underground tunnels. Like I personally,
that's a whole nother game.
I personally have, and especially out here in Plano, I've been to a church and a pastor was happily, showing me these underground tunnels underneath their church. And I was like, and I got the most sickest feeling ever. And I said, I've got to go. Like I literally have seen it for myself. I haven't been in one, but I've seen it and I know they exist. And I know that we have tunnels from Chicago to Wisconsin.
It's not being used for any good.
Yes.
I tell people all the time, like, I love to talk about my children. I am so proud of my children. I will talk about my children all day. But if it is a stranger and they're asking you about your kids, somebody you just started dating, anything like that, and they're asking you more about your kids,
yes,
then really see
run.
Just red flag.
Absolutely.
That's a red flag.
Absolutely.
That's a run. Run the other way.
And I don't care if you're male or female. Like if some chick at the park is trying to be mom with you and isn't having a mom conversation, is just asking a lot about your kids, stop talking to her. She shouldn't need to have all that information on your children. You can have a mom conversation without just talking about your kids.
And that gets into the grooming that we were talking about. They'll groom adults just as they will with children. Because
they'll groom adults before they'll groom children.
Right. Because once they have you in their pocket, it's easy to get the child because they've already established a friendship with you. They've established that whole cohesiveness with you. And hey, it's no big deal that Sally's over here sitting on my lap and I'm talking to her and it's your daughter, but it's okay because it's in front of mom. Well, now when mom's not there, it's okay in front of mom, so it's okay when mom's not here. And it can just escalate from point A to point B quicker because you've already established that friendship with the mom, that cohesiveness with the parents, the family atmosphere, that it's okay. The kids don't know the difference. They truly don't, because it's okay when mom's here. Well, why wouldn't it be? It's mom's friend.
And it goes from such simple things as to like, oh, Billy, you're so great. I saw your baseball game to
now touching their leg,
to now touching other parts of their body, and they I know.
It's $1 billion. It's $1 billion industry. How many billions of dollars?
$150 billion. Yeah, we ran statistics
year.
before this. $150 billion a year industry. 99 billion of that is from sex.
That is insane. That, and I mean, no wonder where the deep state gets their money. Oh, I didn't say anything. Sorry.
Whoa, we gotta go.
I didn't say anything. Sorry,
I'm not
Steve.
affiliated.
But yeah, I mean, the statistics. What do you have on statistics? I know a few things, but probably not as much as what you probably have.
Dawn actually ran some more statistics before we started, but I mean,
that's awesome.
Just starting the very beginning of it was, $150 billion a year industry. I think it was like 19 billion was along the lines of just people being trafficked for work. So being forced to work different types of labor jobs, that kind of stuff. And it has nothing to do with sex trafficking or any of that, but it's forced labor.
Yeah.
Like in China,
modern
they use the children for labor.
Absolutely. I think that was like 19 billion.
20 million to 40 million people are in modern day slavery. So 20 to 40 million people. That's a lot of people. Hold on a second. What's up, baby girl?
They did also say that roughly
It's in between the
3 people are being abducted every 3 to 5 seconds. Somebody.
Yeah.
Whether it's for sex, whether it's for trafficking, whether it's for work related, whether it's just to abduct somebody, but somebody every 3 to 5 seconds in the U.S. is being abducted.
Which is,
yeah.
And what's worse about this? Okay, this is the one that got me. This got me, guys. Internationally, only about 0.04% of survivors of human traffic cases are identified, meaning a vast majority of people in human trafficking are never found or identified.
Never.
Wow.
We're not looking for them.
Right.
Because people think this isn't happening. Why do you think they make so much money?
Mm-hmm.
And on top of this, we were talking about this earlier. The foster system is
where a huge number of these kids are coming from, the foster systems. Just because they're already not being looked for, their parents already don't want them, and they're using that system to manipulate and move and traffic kids, because if they disappear, they disappear. Nobody's looking for them. They're already off the radar. Same with your homeless people. I've
heard a lot about our homeless people.
Yeah.
Disappearing.
Huge. And let's face it, a lot of those are our veterans too. So that's a whole other subject that is just disgusting in itself.
Yes.
But they'll groom them.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's so sad. It's so sad that this is just such a bad thing. And this is the pandemic. Really, if you think about it, this is the pandemic. This is
way worse than coronavirus will ever be.
Yes.
And it is so not looked at. And for me, you can call it a conspiracy theory, but I feel like there are a lot of people that go into social care to groom kids.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And because
I gotta go. I just wanted to say it was nice to talk to you for like a very short while. Hopefully I can catch up with you on like Instagram. I know you're gonna do a show in like a couple of months, so I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out. And you still are.
I'm panicking.
I'm making them do all the cardio.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely keep going, keep hammering it out, man.
I appreciate it. Man. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to seeing you on stage. And then
we'll see.
I'll definitely.
We'll do it.
You'll do it, Dennis.
It's okay. Just pretend everybody's in underwear.
I can do it next year.
You know. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Okay.
Appreciate it. Good seeing you again.
Right. Have a good one.
All right. Bye, Justin. There goes my co-host. It's okay. We got this, right, guys? We got this. Maybe I'll just scoot over in the middle here.
Take both mics.
What'd you say?
I said take both mics.
Maybe I will take both your mic or the other mic, but yeah, I mean, the tunnels go from. I mean, people don't understand. These tunnels can go from Chicago to the southern part of Illinois, all the way up to Michigan, all the way up to Wisconsin.
Another tunnel, which connects to another tunnel, which connects to another tunnel.
Yes, and if you think about this. We had missing children since the milk carton days, right?
Absolutely.
Even before that. I mean, it's just more weird. we're more socially aware of it now. People keep saying, why are there more child molesters now than there ever was? Why is that? I'm like, no. We just have more social media, so we're more aware of it now. It was always happening. It was always happening. I mean, I'm not knocking religion in any way, shape, or form, but look at the Catholic Church.
Yes.
It has been happening for generations upon generations. It's just now we're finally starting to say, this needs to stop. It's not okay.
Do you think more and more people are waking up to this?
Yeah, slowly.
Slowly. I think there's still a lot of people with blinders on. Talked to an old person that used to live next to me, an old neighbor, and we were talking about my class, our class that came up this last weekend, the stranger danger class and all that. And he's like, oh, I should bring my grandson and this and that. And he's like, well, what kind of stuff are you going over? So I explained to him, about the trafficking and what we talked to the parents about.
And grooming. And
the grooming of the parents and grooming of just the kids. And he looks at me, dead look in my face. And he goes, that's a bunch of shit. That doesn't really happen, does it? And I'm like, no, Rick, it does happen.
And it's
and he's like,
happening.
I can't believe that. And so I start throwing out some stories and scenarios and stuff that I've witnessed, stuff that a friend of mine has witnessed who runs a non-for-profit trafficking group. And he's like, you're fucking kidding me, right? And I go, no. I said, this happens to 3-year-olds. I said, look at your fucking grandson who's 3 years old. I said, somebody is buying that child right now, buying them for sex and then tossing them in the fucking garbage. It's sickening. It tears me up.
I have gone down the rabbit hole. I've seen things that I won't mention on this show because I don't want us to get.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I get it. There's a line and we won't cross that.
Yeah.
Yes. And so
me too. I've seen it.
Parents need to be really aware. Like I belong to some, some community things here. And the lack of participation from the men really upsets us women.
Mm-hmm.
We need more alpha males. In fact, we just had an alpha male show last month. We need more men to step up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And okay, so here's the thing. We just had the stranger danger thing, and I'm sitting there talking to a lot of moms, and I run the Kenosha moms group. Like, I'm an admin there. Okay. So there's 4,000 moms in my group. And not a lot of them came to participate, but some of them did. And then when I'm talking to them about these things, they're like, are you kidding? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not making this up. This is facts. And I go, everybody thinks it's not going to happen to you. But I can tell you that when I was 15 and I am not 15 anymore, it happened to me in the beginning stages of AOL. We bring people into our living room every day.
Yes, we do.
And so therefore, it's definitely happening to your child. So keep an open, honest report. And situational awareness is key. Stop letting your kids get lost in their devices. That is what they are looking for. A kid that's not paying attention.
Yes. And my granddaughter, she's 8. And her mom got her the cell phone and the I don't know, the tablet thing. And I had to tell her, like, who do you talk to on here? And the majority of the time when she's with me, she talks to her friends or her cousin. But I had to tell her mom, I'm like, the things that you are putting in this 8-year-old's hand could be causing some kind of trouble, putting her in harm's way. Like, you need to go through everything.
I used to
on a daily basis.
So I used to work in the emergency room, and I used to work in PT, so like in physical therapy. So when I was working in physical therapy one day, one of the girls that works with me is a college or high school student, and we see lots of high schoolers, right? So they come twice a week for weeks and weeks and weeks. So you develop a rapport with them. And I come to find out that they have all these hidden apps on their phone. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, yeah, there's this one called Calculator or Calculator X or Calculator Plus or whatever. And she's like, it's not a calculator. I'm like, if my mom pulled it up, it's a calculator. But if I swipe it this way or push this button.
I heard about that.
Into the calculator. If I push this code into the calculator, They can send pictures, have messages, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this was developed by a pedophile for sure. Because there's no reason you need to be hiding apps.
Yeah, you should
No
not.
reason. And this is why I have made it my dang mission to keep up with all social media. By the way, I'm on TikTok live right now. There's like 3 people joining. But but it's like a whole thing for me, like to keep up with all of this social media and join it, even though I don't really want to join it, but I really will be active with it because I am not going to let my kids join something or let anybody I love be part of something that I don't know about or I'm not familiar with. What app? No. Mm-mm.
Oh, that's horrible. I didn't know about the calculator ones. So maybe you could educate me on some of the ones that are hidden that look like they're legit, but they're not. I don't know all of the social media stuff, but it's insane. And even for us women, the same thing for us women, especially if we're single, if we're single moms, if we're single ladies, they prey on us too.
Big time.
They do.
Big time. I can't, and that goes back to like Dennis and I were having a conversation the other day, and I was just like, "Oh, the 97%," and he is like, "What does that mean?" And I go, 97% of women out there have been sexually assaulted in some way, shape, or form, whether that be something as simple as being catcalled, and it's gross, but I'd rather be catcalled than anything else. To getting unsolicited dick pics and treated like trash and assaulted physically or assaulted mentally.
God forbid if you don't answer somebody.
The fear of rejecting a man is so high.
Oh, yes.
I am more fearful than to reject a man who's coming at me with advances than I am of some guy off the street trying to attack me.
Yes.
Because I have I can kind of prepare for that guy who's jumping me. The guy that I think is a nice guy and is coming at me and is like trying to be sexually active with me and I'm saying no, that rejection is scarier.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my gosh. I can remember getting some of those like responses in my DMs, and if I didn't respond, oh my God, it was a message. I was like, what
the bitch? You were awful.
Yes.
Tease. Yes. I'm like, wait, why did you? Because I don't want to. Like, sorry. Like, but if in the same aspect, women can be just as bad. Yes. I do not disparage that whatsoever. I'm not standing here being on my high horse, being like, I'm a feminist. I don't like. I am all about women empowering ourselves, but women can be just as bad to men.
Yes, I agree.
When they get rejected and they're like, I'm better than you. Oh my God. Well, you crazy. Stop. It's just a no.
We
had a hard day.
It could be anyone. It could be somebody's 85-year-old grandfather.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who or what the age group is. I mean, I feel bad for those who grew up in that environment and who were raised that way and had no choice. That's just heart-wrenching when I've heard some of the stories, I've seen some of the victims, and it's just like,
and them
my God,
is so difficult. Like I will be honest, I live with PTSD. I have a very strong PTSD reflex. Dennis knows because I'll call him in the middle of the night crying. But I have a lot of issues. There are things that will trigger me. One of them being my ex-husband, and I can't get rid of him because he's my kid's dad. So I know what that's like. But it doesn't give me the right to treat anybody with unfairness, without respect, and without tentativeness. Because I am very hesitant, even with men and women coming into my life. I'm very tentative. And I'm very upfront about it, being like, this is, yes, a little bit about me, but mostly about my kids because I won't let people around my kids. Like, yeah, you can play in the park. We're not exchanging numbers. I don't know you. And
exactly. Oh, I love those. Can I get your number? Like, I just met you. Like
we
no.
can park next week at 3:00 and our kids can play, but I'm not giving you my number to like hook. No.
That's another red flag. If a guy does not want to meet you in public, bye-bye. That's even, hey, you could come back to my place. No, how about we don't? But yeah,
I've had horror stories of like friends and just people I've known who have had perfectly good dates, and they're like, and then we were going to go back to his place and watch a movie because it was going so well and it was so great, and then we decided just to take one car, so I got in his car and we were driving to it, and everything's 360'd, and this guy went crazy and was just like acting like he's owning me, and I was thinking about tucking and rolling out of the car, which again, by the way, there's another one. Uber and Lyft. That's freaking dangerous.
Is it really? I haven't heard any stories from, and I've heard about the Airbnbs.
That too. But Uber and Lyft, there are things you can do to keep yourself safe. But nobody does them. They get in them like a taxi. Hey, do you check to make sure the child lock is off of the back doors before you get in that Uber? Probably not.
Oh, wow.
Do you check to make sure that you can roll down the window and he doesn't have the window locks on?
Right.
Probably not. Do you check
These are things that we're probably not.
Car that the Uber app says is coming to pick you up and the driver that they say is coming to pick you up, do you verify those are the same thing? Probably not. Because a girl just recently got into an Uber that she thought was her Uber driver and it wasn't. And she's dead now.
Oh no. Yeah, I didn't know about, I see, I wouldn't think about those things. I just want to get in the Uber, get where I'm going. Not like even thinking.
Kid safety locks in the back of the car. If you're not opening the door and looking to make sure that's not on when you get in the car.
Wow, these are so important. And this is why I wanted to have you guys on the show tonight, because thinking outside the box. Sometimes you have to think about these things. Unfortunately, we live in that type of world where we have to think about everything.
Yeah.
Right.
17 steps ahead.
Yeah. People aren't looking at just that main little thing. They're looking tenfold ahead. And you have to, because the people that are going out there to try to either abduct you or, take you or anything, they've already got those all in play of trying to go, hey, I need to cover this, and this to keep my ass safe. Well, if you're not trying to do it, they already are. They're already 2 steps ahead of you. You got to stay 2 or 3 steps ahead of them.
So let's talk about some things that, like, we did talk about how our boobs could be protective. We can have little hidden gems in there.
Yes.
let's talk about some.
I can't.
You have pockets.
Before we get into the differences in carrying, yeah.
Yes, let's talk about some things that we can use for protection for us ladies. If you don't have a FOI card or if you don't have a concealed carry, then what are some of the items that women can legally carry with them?
You can carry a knife. I actually looked it up in Illinois.
Yes.
You can carry a knife. You can't carry. Hold on.
She's got her whole box of blades.
I love the good bring about, girl.
You can carry any kind of pocket knife. Okay, so the quick releases, any kind of pocket knife, you can carry. Okay, these are not legal.
Damn, I got one of those.
They're not legal.
Out the front, they call it. You're
the out the front are not legal. I call it my chicky knife because I just think it's fun that way. And anything. Okay, so this is my Wonder Woman knife. So anything this big in Illinois, it's like, I think it's over like a 3 or 4 inch blade, isn't legal in Illinois to carry out. I mean, you can still carry it, but don't get caught with it. No, I'm kidding. It's not legal to like carry. Like when I go rocking in Illinois, I've been caught with it, and they are like, it's fine, just keep it. I'm like, I'm not gonna just walk up and stab hikers.
Right.
Like I was just there for like protection, and cops get it. But in Illinois, these are legal, 100% legal.
What are you
Butterfly
gonna do with that though?
Butterfly.
I'm like, that is so
are actually
small.
legal in the state of Illinois, which is weird because it's way more dangerous than one of these. Okay, but
Really?
yeah, butterfly knives are legal in the
Yeah,
state of
completely
Illinois.
illegal.
In the state of Wisconsin, no holds barred. Go for
Look,
it.
the state of Wisconsin, you could have anything, damn it.
Yeah,
you can
like,
have silencers, suppressors, and I'm like, I am so moving because
And
Illinois
if it's made
sucks in that
of
department.
cheese, it's even better. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, no. Again, I'm not a fan of mace. One of the biggest reasons I'm not a fan of mace is you can't control the wind and you can't control the backsplash. If it is your weapon of choice, I am not going to defer you from it, 100%. But if you're going to get it in the tear gas and O2 or the O2 spray and pepper spray, because pepper spray you can work through. And let's be honest, if people are attacking people, they've probably been sprayed with this before. They're used to it.
They know how they're going to react.
That's true.
So they already know if I get sprayed, I'm going to have X, Y, and Z are going to be my issues. Well, I can fight through that.
This one always gets me. When people are like, well, honey, just walk through the with your keys like this. This isn't doing anything.
It might work for the eyeballs. No.
Like,
if you can get that close.
Yeah, maybe. But
maybe.
But by the time you go to punch somebody, and let's face it, most girls don't punch with a lot of force. This is going to slip through your hand, and now you lost your keys.
Yes.
I am a big advocate for girls who don't feel like they have the strength for it. They have those, like the noise ones, the ones you can like push a button and it makes a lot of noise, or pull a tab and it makes a lot of noise.
Just a loud decibel that basically will deafen you. It's like an air horn, but on a pull tab or on any of that type of system.
I need one of those.
They're really good, but again, it's going to deafen you as well as.
Oh yeah, that's true.
More deafen than blind.
Yes, true.
There's a style called, I think it's called Birdie. I will look it up, but like my old boss gave me one of these. My kids are gonna like lose their shit in about 2 seconds. Oh no, the batteries are dead on this. Never mind.
There we go.
Well, that's deterrent. Holy shit.
Yeah, and you're on the other
side.
Right right now.
Hey, but wait a minute. I just got, do I have it? I don't know what I do with it. That's funny. I should know what I do with it. I think I put it in my other, like my big rifle bag. But I have that. I have one of those, shit, what the hell are they? I can't think of what they're, it's an electrical thing and I can
Like
stand with it.
thing?
Yes, I have one of those. Those are fun.
Tasers are great, but like I'm all for tasers. Years ago, I almost got arrested for owning a taser, but now they're legal in Illinois, so it's fine. But tasers are great depending on voltage. So if you have a really little one, it might jerk somebody back, and at that point of they jerking back, you better run like in hell because they're gonna be mad that you just hurt them. If you get them good enough, they'll go down.
Yeah.
I'm making a shirt for OPT that just says stab, twist, run, because that's my motto.
I love it.
It's like I would like don't just stab somebody because that's not going to open a wound. You stab, you twist, you run like hell, or keep stabbing and twisting until the threat is gone, and then you run like hell. We
Girl,
teach
sign
people
me up. No.
constantly. We are not here for the fight. We were going to teach you everything we can to deter the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But know how to fight when it comes down to it and get away.
You want to show us a
do
move?
the most damage if you do have to fight.
Yeah. Well, Dawn carries a folder. I carry all the time. It's a sock pea. It's a dagger.
Ooh.
It does have a ring on it. So as I draw it out of the holster, so let me grab the holster here real quick.
I love it. Let's do it. Show and tell. Show and tell.
So sits like this. Clipped into your pants. Does have a good hook on that. I don't know if you can kind of see.
Yep. I can see
the
it.
hook that's on it will hook to like a yoga pants or any type of running pants. So even if you're not wearing a belt, it will still hold on to it because it has claws that are made out of steel with it. So when you're actually grabbing it, you're looping your finger through here and pulling up. So now you have it in a dagger position to where if somebody's coming up behind you, you can pull this out, multiple stabs to the thigh, to the wherever. You can also move it around to wherever if you're coming at somebody to stab this way or come around to secure, to actually hit, to hook, to stab, whatever. This is like one of my favorite ones. Again, it's a fixed blade. I got to figure out a camera here. It's a fixed blade. It's a sock P dagger. They also come with a trainer. So the trainer is blunt all the way around, so you can actually practice drawing with it. So you're not stabbing yourself in the leg, that kind of stuff. Again, I don't work for them. I don't work for Benchmade, anything. It's just, to me, it's been one knife that I will always carry for damage.
I love this. I'm trying to train with this. I'm not good with it quite yet. My only thing with it is this. And as a woman, you know, this is a very long length to carry anywhere as a little person. And like, I can't put this in my bra. That would be freaking obvious. And in my pants, it would be like, even because all our clothes aren't loose fitting. Let's face it. So I'm trying to figure out a way to make this work, and that's why I'm trying to figure out like making a clothing line that we can fit something like this into, where we deploy.
And what
like, if you know anybody that designs clothing, and like, I have all the ideas, I'm not a designer. So
what I like about this is it is a dagger blade. Also, it's very thin. It's made to fit into the intercostal spaces in between your ribs. So if you are coming through and stabbing back, and you're parallel to those ribs, it's going to pierce right through and into the lungs.
Which is actually
that's what it's made for. It's made for doing damage. It's not made for just, you know, your hunting, fishing knife. This is made for doing damage.
Which is
Dennis,
kind of
I'm going to put that on my list, okay?
What's that?
I'm putting that on my list when I come see you, okay?
Absolutely. We got you. We'll take care of you.
I got lots of knives.
I love that. See, now I don't know how to work with knives. And I know how to work with my guns, but I don't know how to work with knives.
Well, as you know, a lot of places you can't go with a firearm, but you can walk in with a knife.
Yes.
Learn to use a blade in case you can't. There's always going to be a blade somewhere. Whether you have one on you or not, you're out to dinner. What's on the table? A knife. You're going to know how to use it.
Yeah.
If you know the blade part versus the hard edge, you're going to know how to hold that knife and how to deploy it and how to work with it.
I personally, like, I know a lot of runners. I have a very large run group, and I have bought hundreds of knives for women to like. But the first thing I tell them is like, do not just put a knife in your boobs and think that you're protected. I want you to sit in your backyard and just do this. And learn how to open and close it, and learn how to open and close it, learn how to open and close it. To the point where it just becomes muscle memory. It's nothing to you. And then I want you to put it where you think you're going to have it. Okay. And when you think you're going to have it there, I want you to learn how to pull it out and deploy it like immediately.
Oh.
And
do that again. Do that one more time.
It's deployment.
Yeah. So I just reach in. Oh, it's sweaty. It's sweaty right now. But basically, you have it in there, and I know how that I can. If I reach in here, my finger is immediately right here, and I can just deploy it. Like it's muscle memory, and it takes 21 times to be a habit. If you do it 42 times, it's even better. So I play with you play with it all the time. That sounded awful. Anyway,
that's another story.
But you
that's another day.
Comfortable in your hands, and how you feel comfortable. If somebody like was attacking you and you pulled it out, you can do this with. And it is not just coming home and being like, I got a knife, I'm protected. No, you
gotta know how to use it.
Comfortable in your hands and make it like second nature to you. It is. I can't even. I work in a warehouse now. And I work in the business side of it, but I can't even tell you how many times I've had somebody come up to me and be like, I wish I had a box cutter. And I just, and they're like,
here you go.
Where did that come from? I'm like, I'm not telling you.
Oh my gosh.
Because in the hospital, I worked in the ER, and we would like, somebody would ask for something, and I'm like, I need to cut this open. And they'd be like, where did that come from? And I'm like,
my boob.
Right?
My boob.
Yeah.
But now
it all depends on where you're comfortable with it.
Now let's talk about those who have FOI card and conceal carry.
Yep.
What are good options for conceal carry?
Ooh, that's you.
That's going to depend on where you're going, because obviously, you know as well as I do, concealed carry is only as good as where the establishment that you're going. So they can prohibit it. You can't go into certain buildings with knives, with guns, with any of that type of stuff. What are you looking for as far as what with concealed carry? Like if it's an open venue or...
Let's talk about some of the places that it's legal. I know that government buildings, you cannot bring any weapon into a government building.
Right.
If it has a sign on the door, and it has to, and I learned this, it has to be a specific sign, and if it's not the correct sign, you can walk in with your concealed carry.
Absolutely. It has to be at a specific sign, a specific height, a specific location on the door or building. Some people have gotten away with it where they'll just take the sign and put it down in the bottom left-hand corner that says you can't come in here, with the concealed carry, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. That's their loophole as, yes, we've posted it, but no, it doesn't mean shit, basically.
Yes.
There's a lot of places here in Wisconsin, obviously different than Illinois, that say, no concealed carry, blah, 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 blah. Along that line is the law also states that if you are providing security, then it's okay. Then we cannot come in there with a firearm, that kind of stuff. If you are going to say, I can't come in there with a gun, knife, whatever, and you are not providing security, you are going to be at a liable cause in court if something does happen, because you are now restricting me from my privilege to carry a firearm or a weapon into your establishment, but you did not provide security to protect me while disarming me, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So you have to provide some sort of security, some sort of anything if you are restricting it from people. If you do that and you are safe on that, then yes, it'll end up holding up in court. If you are basically going, hey, I'm going to restrict you and I'm not providing that, and now X, Y, and Z people get shot because nobody had a firearm in there and you stopped the good guys from having a gun, but allowed the bad guys to carry one. You are now liable
way more often lately.
Yeah, you're liable as a company and as a business and as an establishment for a concealed carry end of it, where you're not providing the correct documentation and law.
I wanted to touch on that because people don't know that. And they think, they see the sign that says no gun, and then they put their gun back in their car. But when they technically could have brought it in there, but they didn't know the difference between the right one. It has to come from the state police.
Yeah,
correct.
It's not something that a corporation prints. It's something that comes from the state police of the state of Illinois.
So I really want to touch on this. This is like something really
this
huge.
Is my bag. I carry all the time. I'm going to back up here so you guys can see it a little bit better. It's a sling bag. So basically you can throw it over your shoulder, carry this bag. I love the bag. It has a little pocket up here. I can keep a flashlight in there, which I keep. I also have, if you can see up here to the top, is another small little light, which is great because you can turn this on. It has a red light. So if I'm out in the dark, I can still see. My night vision's not going to be obscured. Also, if I want to torch this one, it's very freaking bright. Yes, it's very bright. So you can blind somebody with this light. They also have a strobe feature on them, which is great. But again, it's great for being a sling pack. It also, if I pull it across the front, for moms, for me, for whatever, it is in front here. I do have soft body armor in here. I have an 11x14 soft plate that will stop a 44 Magnum in here. My son has one in his backpack. I recommend that kids carry it. They don't even have to know it's in there, but they know that if they put this in front of them, if there's a laptop, there's something in here, this is going to stop a lot of rounds. Any type of pistol rounds. What's also great is to the side here, it has a small zipper pocket. I can reach my hand in here. If I don't feel comfortable and I'm talking to somebody and somebody's approaching me, I can just put my hand in here and I'm walking down the street. I am going to let you know this firearm is unloaded. I did pull the magazine, checked it before we got into class, but I will check it again. You can reach your hand in here and pull out your gun. So now I have body armor. I have a firearm that I can now deploy if it gets bad. Again, it is clear and safe. No magazine in the mag wall. I can keep that in here. There's a small little holster in here, a Velcro back, so that it holds it in place. So that if I'm just walking, I don't feel comfortable, I can now just sling that in front of me, pretend like I'm looking for something. My hand's in here. I can grab what I need. I still have it. The threat passes. No big deal. Just go back to what I need to do.
It also has the little slit for your knife.
Yes, it also has. So for that sock pea that I do carry, it actually can fit through and in here, and it slides behind the light area. So if I'm here and I need to deploy the knife, it's quick and it's deployed right off the bat, right off of here. So
now, wouldn't you be worried about them trying to get in your bag? Because you got those assholes that like to go through the zipper.
Okay, turn around. Okay, so if they're trying to get in your bag, they would be trying to get in here,
Okay.
or here. His gun is way back here.
Ah.
Like a little hidden,
it's a secret, a hidden compartment.
So here's
Okay.
so everybody's trying to get in here to find your wallet or whatever. This is a hidden compartment.
Leave the wallet in there. Let them grab it.
Yeah, like behind where they would think it is. So like this looks like a bag. This is the compartment.
Oh,
Okay,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, so they can get in here, here, and here all they want. I don't care. I don't care. Take Dennis's wallet. It's fine. But
I dare you to.
but like they can get into all these compartments. It's fine. Whatever. They don't know necessarily to pull this back to know that it's back there. It's
Okay.
great.
Now, where do you find one of those things at, Dennis?
This is actually made by Condor,
Okay.
Outdoor. They make them in gray and they make them in black. I chose the gray because it doesn't look tactical as far as a black bag.
Okay.
And again, it does have some Molly on it. You know, if you did want to put some other things on it, that kind of stuff. I try to keep it as, quote, gray man as possible. So I look like I can just blend
Just
in.
average dad.
Yep.
Okay.
And again, it's fully adjustable. It's great.
I carried one of these for a diaper bag when my kids were really little, like a sling bag like this when my kids
I was
were
about to
really
say that would be awesome. I mean, hello, moms.
all the snacks, I mean, granted, like you guys hate my tack bag. This is my tack bag.
Hers looks tactical. That looks the part.
Yeah, mine is. I have 2 tactical bags, and then I have like a big rifle bag.
Yeah,
And it's pretty
absolutely.
big.
I've got
This
more
is like
than enough
going
bags.
to the fair.
Yeah. This is going out to
yes.
dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I bring that bag. If we're going out to grab food, we're with the kids. We're going, like she said, to the fair, to the movies,
To the
whatever,
beach, yeah.
to the beach. Nobody's going to suspect that bag.
That there's a gun in there.
I
Right,
don't bring
exactly.
this bag to the beach. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
probably not. I would go hiking with that bag.
Yeah.
well, I do. I go hiking. I go rucking. But I also like when I know I'm gonna have a big trip with my kids, like a full day thing. There's a small cooler that I can fit in there, like a little fold over cooler that I can keep their drinks in. I can attach their drinks to the side. I can do all of those kinds of things and have all of their snacks and change of clothes and sweatshirts if it gets cold and all of that. That's what that's for. Like whatever. But which actually brings me to another point that I forgot to mention at our Stranger Danger event this weekend. So my daughter was in daycare and they made her this amazing thing, which is adorable, right?
Uh-huh.
I will never let my daughter use this. I would never let her use this.
What is it? It's a water bottle, right?
It's a water bottle, but it has her name on it. Why would I let her know her name? People I see dropping their kids off at school with their names.
Names on their bags. I knew
their
that.
Absolutely.
Same thing with writing their name on their jacket.
Yes.
The inside
my
of their
son actually
jackets.
had those. My ex would put his full name on a string that's tied to the inside, this and that.
Yes.
And I'm like, Snip, get rid of that shit. I can't. And she's like, but I want him to know it's his jacket. And I'm like, he's going to know what his jacket looks like. We're now
And even if it got,
advertising. Yeah, we're
you
advertising
can
to everybody.
you can always buy another jacket. You can't get another kid.
Absolutely. And that goes along the lines of, the stickers and stuff that you see on cars with the family. It'll show, mom, dad, 3 little kids. Well, great. Now I know they have 3 kids in that family. They're an honors student at such and such a high school, and they are a member of this sports team. So now I know where I can find them, where they work out, what school they go to, and how many kids are in the car. And if they're small children or young adults, I now know the whole family just by reading the freaking stickers on the back of their car.
So same thing with like leaving mail in your car and you have it faced up and you can see the address. You just gave all your information away. It didn't take long. You could go to Google and find somebody now. I can't believe how easy it is.
Too, but the biggest way to get your identity stolen in the first place is the U.S. mail. But it's like 1950s. Stop paying your bills through the mail. You wouldn't put your financial information in the street corner. Stop putting it literally on the street corner. Like you write a check and you put it in the. As a victim of identity theft, mine was cyber. Holy, stop doing that. Like you can pay everything online now. And granted, it's not even that much safer, but at least if you do it through your bank or through some kind of online feature, there's some protection there. If you put a check in the mail.
I've literally seen people post their driver's license on social media.
Yes.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, that has all of your information on there. I've seen that, and I've seen a lot of that as of late.
My first credit card, some 19-year-old, their whole credit cards on the.
Yeah, not good.
What are we not teaching our children besides doing the laundry? Like, what are we not teaching our children?
And here's the thing I wanted to say was that I wish that schools would have survival techniques and self-defense classes as part of gym instead of who the hell wants to learn how to ta-ta dance or whatever the hell they call them dance, and why not put some basic defense? That's gym class.
Yes. We're working with schools right now.
We're working with some schools and like Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts groups that like where we can try and make this readily available to parents because it's very important to us. Like I am a very adamant fact is like they didn't teach us how to survive everyday life in school. Let's face it. Like most people won't know how to do their taxes or balance a checkbook or know how credit works. Mm-hmm. And these are things basic survival skills.
You have to know this stuff.
Basic survival skills that you need. And we don't teach that in our schools. And they're teaching kids what to do if there's an active shooter. My kids go through active shooter training. They're 8 and 5. But we're not teaching them how to defend themselves, right? Does that make sense?
But here, there's my theory. There are people that work in our school system that shouldn't be working in our school system that affect our children. Did I say I said it? It's the truth. I mean, I've seen as of late, this superintendent got arrested because he was on the side, and then this teacher got It's an ongoing thing, and I think I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself, but I'm telling you
that's basic grooming techniques.
Yes,
more than tactically went into that field, knowing how they felt before they did it, because they did. Most serial killers, most pedophiles, they have genius IQs. Okay, they think 10 times further in.
Yeah, they are very smart
than we could ever think. I consider myself a smart person, but when I call it murder porn because whatever. But anything to do with like criminal justice or like whatever, I call it just is. But whenever I watch this stuff, I can actually like, he's watched it with me. I'll like say what's going to happen before it happens. And he's like,
I'm like, how the hell does she figure this out? You know, certain things throw me off, but her mindset is on certain things where mine are a little different. But yeah.
But it's very predictable.
I put myself in this degree where I think that I am very smart, but tactically in the situation, would I? Would I be?
And you never know what you would do in a quick second, like in a situation. That's the thing. That's why tactical training is so important, because then you can go through those scenarios. You could feel what it's like for your adrenaline to be pumping, because you don't know what your body's going to do. You may be the most accurate shooter and you may know how to do your trigger and this and that, but when it comes down to pulling it, what is your body going to do?
Shooting a shoot target and you just shot the kid because You're used to shooting a piece of paper that looks like a target. We'll now throw a different scenario. You got shoots, no shoots, moving steel, walking down the hallway, strobe lights, whatever. That's your hallway. That's your hallway down your hall with the light flickering, or walking down that dark alley to get to your vehicle, and you're getting jumped in the back parking lot somewhere.
Active shooter in a school, and there's 16 kids screaming behind you. Like
I want to, right? I mean, there's a place right down the street here in Naperville called Wild Weapons, and he's getting a simulator in, and I cannot wait until he does, because I told him, I said, I am totally wanting to sign up and do it.
I'll be number two. You can go first.
Yeah, he's spending like, oh my gosh, almost $600,000 for the whole unit, and it'll drop from the ceiling. It'll just all of a sudden, like, different like things will jump at you, and you gotta act. And at the end, it kind of judges you on how accurate you are, or how
it'll give you a complete breakdown of
yes.
how you did everything, and should you have reacted to certain ways. I've trained in those simulation ones. They're great because it actually breaks down your times versus your shot that you got off on the target. Was it the correct target? How many shots did you fire that actually were on target versus misses? Versus what did you hit in the background? They're great ideas to have, but again, they're super expensive to do. But if somebody can afford to do it, they're going to make their money back, because people are going to want to train with it.
Absolutely. I'm so excited, but I'm definitely looking forward to coming out to Wisconsin for sure, and meeting you guys personally. I have to say, women have come a long way considering firearms. Let me tell you, because I'm really excited that, look, she made the news. Army shooter is first U.S. service member to win gold medal at Tokyo Olympics.
Yes. Absolutely. Applaud.
And here comes Steve. He's gonna chime in. I love it. Steve's like, okay, when do I get to chime in? He's the sports guy.
Well, let's not forget the fact that I think we cleaned up all the shooting medals at the Olympics.
We did.
Yes, we did. We did. Could it be other countries are confiscated their guns? Oh, wait, I didn't say anything. I'm gonna keep that quiet. They don't have much to practice.
There needs to be, like, not getting guns into crazy people's hands. We need to do that. But no one's trying to take anybody's guns. Like,
no, we just want to take it from the people who should probably not have any type of weapon that could be used to hurt anyone.
Yeah, any weapon.
But unfortunately, we have too many of that running around.
Should probably be confiscated at that point.
Right. I mean, I could think of all kinds of things.
No, we have problems confiscating a lot of things. There's people who, have weapons of other kinds. They have a driver's license that shouldn't be driving because they have medical conditions, etc. And sometimes it takes something bad to happen for something to be taken.
DUI, okay? We know.
Get away from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's a lot of, but that goes into, like, so many things and so many levels. Like, there's too harsh of punishments on some things and not harsh enough punishments on another. And right up there is rape and child molestation. Not harsh enough punishments for that.
No.
And you see them walk, but a third DUI is getting 5 years in prison. It's like,
I know.
But you get off on probation for touching my son, who's X amount.
Right.
It's
right.
Horrible. It's horrible.
Or Steve, even that, this guy had some marijuana, so he's going to jail for 10 years. And I'm like, what?
I just feel any marijuana charges at this point in time should be vacated, just because of where we're at in the world. A lot. I mean, everything varies upon states, but like, we're so far past that. Like, if you're pulling someone over for marijuana, we have a problem already.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, if you're pulling someone over for meth, yes, please. Those people are crazy. But if pulling if somebody's got a joint, or I don't care if they have a brick in their car.
I know.
I mean, unless you're in a public place where there's a lot of kids, I don't think you should be saying anything about it at this point.
Right.
Yeah. But how many angry pot smokers are there? I haven't met one.
No. No.
I've never had a
The
hostile.
only angry ones are the ones
life,
that don't have it
so-
anymore. They're out.
Oh yeah, those are the angry ones. The ones that don't have any or they ran out. Okay, that's a good one, Steve.
They're
Yeah,
not
that's a good
near a
one.
dispensary. That's the problem.
Right. Yeah.
They haven't gotten their medicinal card yet. One of the other.
Yeah, right.
Have you, Dennis? Have you done any competition shooting?
Have I? Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, years ago, I competed submachine guns. So I competed with an MP5. Yeah, I've had 4 or 5 MP5s, fully registered machine guns.
I'm
And
jealous.
my partner and I, we trained and we placed 1 and 2 in the state of Wisconsin for a team. And then we ended up placing first. Individually, we placed first and second. It was actually really cool. This has got to be about 10 or 15 years ago. Brian was first. Yeah. Yes, he beat me. No problem on that though.
Wait, is that legal in Wisconsin?
What's that?
You know, automatic.
Absolutely. You can own full autos in Wisconsin.
Shut the I'm moving.
Yeah, you can own full autos, SBRs, SBSs, suppressors. You can own anything.
50
you just
BMG?
have to get the tax stamp.
I have 2 friends.
What's that? DDs? Yeah.
50 BMG.
Oh yeah, I used to have a 50. Yeah, I loved it. It was great. It was great.
Tanks?
My friend
Yeah,
actually
tanks.
makes them, creates them like from scratch, like makes them. I'm like, Eric, you're crazy. But my best friend, who's a woman, is military police for the Air Force, and she has all kinds of weapons that
That's awesome.
never be legal in the state of Illinois.
Right.
What is wrong with Illinois? Why are they such lames here?
What they're trying to do is counteract the whole Chirac situation. And I am from Chicago. I love Chicago. I would live there if I did not have children. But
there wouldn't be such a huge gun problem if certain people weren't putting those firearms on the streets.
Right.
No pun intended.
If they were legal, I think it would be the same as Wisconsin owning them. There's not going to be an issue with it.
If you know how long you're going to go into.
Look at the laws and look at the statistics of people who have been killed, murdered, shot with a fully automatic, fully registered firearm. It's 0. There aren't any. You own and went through all those proper loopholes per se to own that firearm. You're not going to commit a murder or a crime with it. The issues are the people that have bought, modified, done whatever to whatever firearm and made it illegal to own, or you're a felon in possession of a firearm, whatever state you are, you're the ones committing the crime. It's not your law-abiding citizen that has gone through all the training or whatever, or your tax stamp, your $200 tax stamp for your NFA, your waiting your wait period to get that firearm. Back when I was purchasing them, it was a 6-month wait. Now you're a year to a year and a half wait to take possession of a firearm or of an NFA. I'm calling it a firearm. NFA firearm, which means your suppressor, your AOWs, your DDs, your SBRs, SBSs. You're waiting a year before you can even take possession of it. So you go out, you pay your fee, you pay your tax stamp, you get your sheriff's sign off, you do your fingerprints. The gun shop is now holding that for a year before you can take possession of it. You think when you get it, you're going to go commit a crime with that? No, you're going to do it with an unregistered firearm. You're going to do it with something, a stolen firearm, a modified. You're not going to do that. Those are not the people that are committing the crimes. If you make it legal, perfect. You're going to own one. She's going to own one. This person's going to own one. They're not the ones committing the crimes. They're not. It's statistics. You look at it. Statistically, none of those firearms are causing any of the crimes. Your assault weapons ban. Okay, you have your 30-round mags they want to get rid of. I don't give a fuck if you have 10 rounds, if you have 3 rounds. I know how well I can shoot. I don't need a 30-round mag or a 100-round drum. I could work off with the fucking bolt action and take you out at a further distance and at a longer pace, whatever I need to do, better than your guy who's got 100 rounds trying to spray those 100 rounds and hitting multiple innocent bystanders. No. Look at
who wants to waste the ammo? I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, at the price. Geez, I can't do that. You got to learn to shoot now. I mean, you look at the guy that was shooting. I can't even remember where it was, but they were going around, him and his son, and they were shooting people at gas stations, this and that, years ago. This got to be DC. Yeah, 15 years ago. these people were just taking pot shots at one or two people, but they shut down the whole fucking country.
Again, trafficked because his son was trafficked and groomed into that.
Into doing this. So you're breeding that type of a person from a kid, from a parent who bred his kid to kill somebody and to kill people and to shut his mouth about it. That's the issue. It's not owning a firearm or owning an NFA weapon or any of that. It's
knowledge.
Yeah. It's the knowledge of what or lack of knowledge, or how you teach your people, how you bring them up. And again, the trafficking, whether it's sexual trafficking or, going through to murder somebody or whatever, it's the mindset and how you're preparing a child or a person and how you're grooming them. You groom them to what you want them to become.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. It could be good or it could be bad. It's how you use that power.
Yeah, I used to hate that term where like you asked for it. I hated that word back. It used to be a big term like you deserved it because of what you were wearing. Or
you were wearing that short skirt. You wanted me to touch you.
Right.
It's fucked up.
It's such a psychological thing too. It's like what?
But at the same time, can I tell you how they make children's clothing? Back when I was 16, when I was 16, I was like walking into Abercrombie and Finch and realized there's thongs in there for 5-year-olds. Excuse me?
Mm-hmm.
Why does a 5-year-old not need to show her panty line? Please tell me.
Right.
I have a 5-year-old daughter. My 5-year-old daughter is a very pretty girl. My 5-year-old daughter has also got a dump truck on her that would go for days. And it scares the bejesus out of me because no 5-year-old has the right to have that. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, I watch her like a hawk because I'm so afraid that somebody's going to look at her like they look at me.
Yes.
And that scares the bejesus out of me. And all of her clothes are like this big. Why does my son's clothes all fit loose fitting, but my daughter's clothes are all skin tight? Like that doesn't make sense. Like why can't she have some athletic shorts that just fit like athletic shorts?
Right. Why is there such a need to like show so much skin right now, especially with our young people?
Absolutely. There is. I have no clue. It's horrible.
I mean, all the dresses, my daughter's 18, all the dresses, they're like up to her butt. I'm like, what? What happened to like
I was shopping for a wedding, and I was like in my 30s at that point in time, and I was like going around trying to shop for a dress for a wedding, and I was like, I need like 5 more inches of fabric because I don't need everybody to see my goods.
Forget bending over in it.
With wind, or if I have to lean over for something, like 5 more inches of fabric. I'm not asking it to be to my knees, but I'm asking for like.
That not to hang out.
Yeah, I don't need to put on a show. Like I am not getting on a pool later. I'm cool. Like no hate to the girls in the sex industry. Cool with you, but I'm going to a wedding today.
Right, exactly.
No one needs to see my goods. This is about the bride today, not my goods. Okay. I don't understand it. I don't understand why that. And I'm not even saying modesty is best or anything like that, because like I put
an inch above the knee was always the rule.
I have underneath this was like my boobs are everywhere, but I'm in my house, so I don't care.
I used to have that problem.
But I don't.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling.
Why we are marketing such tiny clothing to people when it.
But do you know that I've been noticing a trend in like Walmart, Target, symbols. I'm learning about those symbols.
Mm-hmm.
They're putting them on our children's clothes.
Yeah.
Right.
Ice cream brands. Like parents, you've got to pay attention.
They don't.
Really pay attention. It's on the FBI website. It's like right there.
Right.
But how many times before you were knowledgeable on this stuff would you visit the FBI website?
Not very many.
Thank you.
Not unless I needed to, or it affected
little
me.
ice cream cone or the pizza and go. That's
yes.
But not have any clue
Pineapples.
about it.
No, I'm kidding. That's
I will tell you, I will never look at a pizza the same. I just can't. Knowing what I know,
Right.
It's hard. I'm like, ooh, I like pizza, but
Right.
you know, it's the same thing with movies and actors and things.
Yes.
I can't look at them the same because now I know what I know.
Here's the thing. Megan Fox, for example. Megan Fox became famous when she was in Transformers. She was 15.
Oh, what?
She was 15.
I thought she
And
was
there's a
18.
scene in that movie where she had to be in a bar, but she couldn't sit at the bar because she was only 15.
What?
So they put her in a waterfall half naked in a bikini.
Oh, I didn't know that she was 15. And that's the thing. Most people don't know how old these people are in these movies.
You don't.
And I look, Hollywood.
And I think she's a beautiful girl, don't get me wrong, but there's no reason why they couldn't have cast a over 18-year-old woman in that role.
Right.
Well, look, there's some people saying that she's not even a woman, that she's, one of those.
But whatever.
But hey, I don't know. I just I read a lot of things, but
I don't care. I don't care what you are. I care that she was 15.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought that she looked like she was 18, and they sure had her in those kind of sexual positions like she was an 18-year-old.
Yes, which is wrong.
Which is another problem with Hollywood right now. Like,
Right.
let's
Right. And where are the parents? Where are her parents? Who gave them permission to use her in sexual ways in a Transformer kids movie?
Millions. Who cared? Nobody.
Right.
They're going to sexualize your daughter for millions? Okay. You're going to sexualize my daughter for millions? I'm going to punch you in the face.
and think about it. How many grown men that were like, ooh, she's hot.
Didn't know.
Sexy.
Right.
Didn't know. And just trained their mind to look at a 15-year-old that way without even knowing it.
Exactly. And I don't like the way things are going towards things. I don't like where it's going. I feel very... I am worried about our next generations and our children. Yeah, Lewis said he didn't even know that she was 15. He said that's fucked up.
There he is.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is 100%. And she actually talks about this a lot more now as an adult, about how she now looks back and realizes that was wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, grooming. You plant the seed, you target a victim, you gain their trust, you fulfill a need,
and watch
isolating them away from their parents and convincing them that it's okay, and then the next thing you know, sexual contact or sexual contact.
Yeah, watch the cartoons. They're bad now.
I mean, they were bad back then. Like okay, I don't know how old you guys are.
Disney has underground tunnels. I don't know if anybody knows that.
Oh yeah,
but Disney is bad.
Right. No, absolutely.
And where does everybody take their families? To Disney
World. Yeah, we're taking them there.
I would love to know what the statistics are of how many children come up missing from Disney trips.
Right. Absolutely.
I would love to know that statistic, because that is just, it's horrible to even think you can't even take your family on a vacation and feel safe.
Right.
Oh, the underground tunnels at Disney are like,
yeah, that's bad. Especially the ones that's like employees only. Well,
yeah.
And then girls wear certain colors and things like that.
Not to knock Disney, 100% not to knock Disney, but like you got to understand that there are people that go to get these jobs for a reason.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and they don't really
do
every job.
Kids that
Every job that has to do with kids.
Yeah.
There are certain people, a percentage.
Carnivals.
Absolutely.
Carnivals.
I hate carnivals.
Are notorious.
Yeah.
Notorious. I mean,
you know why I hate carnivals so much? Because it's the one place that I can't feasibly teach children that if you see somebody with a name tag or somebody that works there, go to them.
Right.
Yeah.
They all have them.
Yeah, it's
the
sad.
one place that you are like, find a mom with 3 kids or a baby and go to that mom. Do not go to the workers there, because you may never be seen again.
Yeah, I know. It's scary. It's scary. We had that problem a few years ago in Kendall County. Kendall County had a fair, and they hired this circus or whatever it was to come out here, and they had the most horrendous complaints about this group and organization that came in, and they were stealing from the stores. They were hitting up on the children. They were doing inappropriate things. And so, I mean, we're not having them back. I mean, obviously Kendall County wised up to all the complaints. And then the other thing here, let me talk about this. This is something that people don't even realize. And it's right here in my own little city. There was a little massage parlor. Very suspicious. I don't know of any massage parlor that puts the curtains up and locks the door, and you gotta have like, a sign language to get in the door. And
let me drive you around Wisconsin real fast. I have one right up the street.
Well, let me tell you, my girlfriend was at the Anytime Fitness right by the massage parlor. It got busted. There was FBI everywhere, black trucks. You couldn't leave the parking lot. She was stuck. She's like, what is going on here? And she said, and they told her, there is a sex trafficking ring. We are here to, make arrests. You cannot leave. And so she watched this whole thing transpire. And it's interesting because it's right across the street from a grade school, right down the street from another school, right next to a daycare, and right next to a family restaurant. And this is those little hidden ones, the happy endings that everybody talks about. Those are the ones that are always in question. Yes. Those and what happened was they actually had people living in there. They had lists of children. They had scheduled appointments for massages with adults and children. There was it was mind-boggling because every time I would go by and I'm like, there's something wrong with this place. There's just a bad feeling because it was all curtained up. You couldn't see inside. Most of your salons, spas, all open and bright, and you can see what's inside. You got people. Oh my gosh, I want to go in there because there's people in there. But it was all curtained. How many of those are around?
We have one right at the street from here, and it's right next to the liquor store, but right across the street from the AAA baseball stadium. So you guys have like Schaumburg Boomers out here. We have the Kingfish here, right across the street from there. Heavily trafficked area, right across the street from my ice cream shop.
Yeah.
And
where kids frequent.
And
all the time.
I called one of my friends and I was like, look, I went to the Dollar Tree over here, and this massage parlor is giving me like high end happy ending vibes. Is it? And he's like, oh yeah, like that. I'm like, why aren't we closing this down? And he's like, there's only so much we can do. But you just watched the Jeffrey Epstein thing about how he was.
Well, no, she's right about that. There was one right around the corner up here in the Northeast Philly for like almost 10 years before they could shut it down.
Crazy? It's nuts.
Yeah, and they pop up everywhere. And don't think your little corner salon, your nail salon, where you pay $5 now. Don't think.
Well, no, they bought like an old doctor's office that was like right across the street from like the park. That's right around the corner from a school, right down the street from a hospital. Like,
it's nuts.
He just watched that Jeffrey Epstein
the documentary.
Documentary. I don't think I watched.
And he started out like just by being like inviting like a 7th grader over. Right?
Yeah, he had like a 7th, 8th grader come over, give him a massage. He'd pay him $200, and then next thing you know, he was naked. And if they said no, he would be like, "Okay, well, no big deal. Here's your $200. Can you go find me a friend that would do it?" And then he would send kids to go do this to find more kids in their school. And the one person that got busted, she had said, "I didn't realize what I was doing was illegal." But she had given him 40 to 50 other kids in their junior high that were making money going over giving him massages. And then it just kept spiraling, and more kids. And they would invite 2 or 3, and they'd invite
$200? Holy, that's money to me, let alone a 7th grader.
Right. And a 7th grader's like, ooh, candy store. $200 will last me a whole year.
Now I don't even have to give him a massage. For every kid I bring, he's going to give me $200.
Yeah.
So now you just start soliciting more and more kids, and it kept growing from there.
Welcome to grooming 101,
Right?
Where you don't even have to do it yourself. You got a kid to do it for you.
And I do remember I did watch that, and I could not believe how he got started. Yeah. And by the way, he didn't kill himself. He's still alive.
No.
What?
No. He's still alive. Sorry, he didn't kill himself, and neither did McCaffrey. He didn't kill himself either.
Right.
So,
He
yeah,
wasn't a very good guy either, but I'm not even going to go into that. But
well, there's some other, but it's awareness. It's situational awareness, being aware of what's going on in your own community, the communities you go and visit. I mean, you have to be
aware of what you're doing when you walk down the street.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do have my earbuds. Hold on.
So she's got some earbuds that we like to promote. Again, we have no affiliation to them, but they are great for if you're out walking, hiking, just in the gym, whatever. The way that these work, you can still hear everything around you, what's going on. So, you're not.
I've heard of these.
Yeah, I bought a pair a little while ago. She asked me to buy them, and I'm like, oh my God, these are the greatest thing. I can still hear conversations that are going on in the gym around me, out while I'm walking, but can still hear my music.
So I'm
going to
do a comparison here. So I don't know if you can see this really well.
Uh-oh.
Go in your
She
ear.
just put, oh, there she is. Okay.
So you got your traditional earbuds that go in your ear, right?
Yep.
You put both of them and you can't hear pretty much anything.
No, you can't.
So being a runner myself, and marathon training and doing it at dusk or whatever, bone conduction. These are aftershocks. So you see how they sit here, and my ear is free and clear. So I could actually put my earbud right in there. They're free and clear. So I hear everybody at the gym when they're talking, but my music is still pumping. I can hear
oh, I so need those.
So they're bone conduction. Your music is just loud enough that you can rock out to it. And trust me, I do. I rock out on a treadmill like you wouldn't believe it. Like I'm fist pump and like everything. But you can hear everything that is going around here. Traffic. When I was marathon training at one point in time, I live across the street from a high school. So I was running, and high school was like starting in. And I was running, and I had this one kid. I don't like kids talking like this. So this one kid was like, I'd hit that. So I stopped in my tracks, turned around, and gave him the business. I won't say what I said, but he just like mortified, and his friends were like, ooh, and I'm like, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've had somebody say something to me at the gym, and I'm like, I can hear you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing.
In my ears. It's situational awareness. Like I can still listen to music. I can still listen to my podcast. I can still listen to everything I want to. I can still hear you.
We'll have to get links for those because I think that's important to know where to get
Absolutely.
those. Now, Lewis wants to know, and I can't remember. Lewis wants to know where can he see the Epstein? It's Netflix. Is it still on Netflix?
It is.
Yeah.
You'll have to search for it. I just watched it like a week ago or so.
Okay. The only thing, there was a couple things on there I really didn't like because they try to portray someone in that light, and I'm like, yeah, he wasn't. No, I don't like.
Right.
I didn't like how they did that.
But the factual parts of it, where if you take out all of the parts that could be, hearsay or whatever, but the facts that came out, I 100% agree. Those are facts. You can't deny those. And they have police statements, all that kind of stuff that are the facts that actually happened with it. Yes, I can agree with those. But the hearsay stuff, you take it with a grain of salt. It's a documentary on TV, whatever. But if you look at the actual facts of the trafficking part and what they did to groom seventh graders, sixth graders, it's sick.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Just like even the pedestophiles, the police that investigated that and saw the videotapes, they literally, I think they resigned and they all puked when they saw it. They all
PTSD like this.
They were like, I've never seen anything like this, and I work in this field. This is the worst I have ever seen. And I think there's only 2 of those officers that are alive out of 5, I think, or 7. I can't remember the story.
There's only a couple left.
I have a couple. Like I know a lot of cops, and I had one cop that I knew that had to retire from PTSD because of one incident. He is a father of 5, and he got called to one of those like storage units, and this guy had bought this storage unit like at auction, right? Because people abandon them. It was literally filled from top to bottom with child pornography, and he went in there thinking that, like, oh, recording equipment, blah, blah, blah. Nothing but all child pornography. And he was just like,
So good.
A whole storage unit
like,
full.
and
I
all
would've
the
told
storage
her.
unit was like, it's not me. And he is like, I'm calling you because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the cop that had to go through all of this stuff,
Yeah, nobody knows.
retired
Nobody
because he
understands.
couldn't
You
deal.
can't unsee what you see.
on
a
No,
lot of
you
stuff.
can't.
See it.
And that's I have a detective friend. He's retired now, but he used to tell me stories, and he's like, I'm so glad I'm retiring. But he said, Racheal, it's really, really bad out here. Like, I couldn't even describe to you some of the things I have seen regarding children.
Right.
And people don't understand what officers go through on a daily basis. I mean, that's a lot.
Exactly.
Psychologically, it's a lot of stuff that they go through. I want to bring up the poll question real quick because I want to touch on this a little bit.
Okay.
So Steve can pull it up for me. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about this statement. It's actually a question. Better to be judged by 12 than carried by 12. Agree or disagree? So let's talk about what that means.
Okay. Well, you're on
I know what it means, but some people might not know what that means.
I'm not exactly sure because I'm like, there's only 6 pallbearers. So exactly what are you talking about?
Oh,
Right. It
I'm
should be-
not. Maybe it's incorrect.
It should be
Correct
6,
it.
right? Because 6
Okay.
pallbearers will carry your casket versus
Yes.
your X amount of people that are on your jury.
Right.
If that's what that's
what
gearing
that
towards.
means.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
I think they mistyped it when they put it on the.
Sure.
put it
That's
up there.
fine. That's fine. I think people understand the premise because we just did, and
Yeah, just by glancing at it, I knew what the idea was.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree with, you have your judged by or carried by. I'd rather be judged than go to the grave on, something that I didn't do.
in every class that we teach, we teach people that if you hurt somebody, you are going to get arrested more than likely.
You draw a
And
gun
that's
on
why
somebody, you shoot somebody, right or wrong, you're going to jail.
It's okay. It's okay. There's a process. But I'd rather go before a judge than have somebody planning my funeral.
Yeah,
Period.
Absolutely.
I'm right there with you. I was, and this is something that's interesting regarding this. Conceal carry insurance. That's why it's so important. If you're going to get a concealed carry, you can't just go and buy the gun and, hey, I got my license. No, you have to be responsible and get your concealed carry insurance because in the long run, if you do have to use your concealed carry, you are now insured.
Yeah.
You have
your
lawyers.
lawyer, you have everything on retainer. Everything is there. You're going to get out of jail that probably the following night or whatever, depending on when the incident happens. I mean, you may have to sit a whole weekend because courts are closed, but you will get out of jail. They will post bond. They will help you get through it if it was legal and justified. The other end of it is, have that insurance because it's only going to help you in the long run. Legal fees, as you know, will rise and continue rising as it gets deeper and deeper. Nobody's pockets are deep enough to pay for a justifiable or unjustifiable shooting. It doesn't
They can
matter.
take everything.
Absolutely. You will lose everything. And just know, and I try to
divorce even.
Right.
Whatever.
I try to explain to people in all the concealed classes that if you shoot somebody, know that you're going to jail that night. Whether you are justified or not, you're going to go to jail because you killed somebody. I mean, you took somebody else's life, right or wrong. You will go to jail. So yes, plan on that. Plan on spending the night there. Plan on it not being enjoyable, but also have a backup as far as who to call. Have your numbers that need to be called. I have a card that I keep in my wallet that says STUF, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to anybody until my lawyer gets there. I have 4 phone numbers that are on that list of people that need to be called. And they're people that I know, I trust. They're my instructors, people that have said, hey, if you shoot somebody in a justifiable shooting, you call me because I am certified through them or have trained through them that now I know that they are upstanding. They are going to be able to come to the court and say, hey, he has taken my classes. He's an instructor for me. He has done all of this, his training, his knowledge. We back it 100%. And some of these people are high-end people that, Masad Ayub, people that are in the gun industry that will go and fight for you because they know that what you've done,
You've
if
done
it's
everything.
justifiable.
You put
right.
all your ducks in a row.
Absolutely. If you've done something wrong and you shoot somebody, again, like we talked about, for taking your TV, they can't back that. And don't think that, well, I wanted my TV. I really like my fucking TV, but you can't shoot somebody just for taking your TV. As long as everything was done in the correct manner, you're going to go and you're going to be free. It may take a while and it's going to cost a lot of fucking money, but you're going to end up walking away free and clear from it if it's done in the right way.
But again, we also deflect the situation. Draw your gun. Don't necessarily have to use your gun.
Right.
If you're taking my TV, here's my gun. Please stop taking my TV. It doesn't mean I'm going to shoot it or that it's even loaded. Please leave my house now. It works.
Sometimes a shotgun, that's all you need. And they're like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I got pros and cons to that. One, it tells me that you weren't ready to begin with. If you have to rack it, you weren't ready for the fight.
Not the robber. Not the guy that's trying to take your TV.
But yes, you do hear the people go, all I hear is that rack, and they're going to drop their shit and leave. Yes, I look at it and go, I wasn't ready for the fight because there wasn't one in the chamber. Pros and cons.
Oh my
You're
God.
going to be the best thief ever.
That is so that is so true. Oh my gosh. You guys, I know we're coming we've got a couple minutes left of the show. Why don't we go ahead and share your social media, how they can find you, follow you on your social medias, your Facebook, your Instagrams. We'll start with you, Dawn.
I am Runs with Knives 00 on Instagram, but we are, and he is On Point Training LLC on Instagram. We are On Point Training LLC on Facebook. I'm on
our website, On Point Training
LLC. But yeah, I mean, even on TikTok, I put a lot of the stuff on TikTok, and I'm Runs with Knives 00 on TikTok too. So.
What? You're on TikTok? No. Okay, Dennis, how can we find you?
Again, it's going to be On Point Training LLC. That's going to be my Instagram, our website, all of that kind of stuff. It's all
even
under the same.
On Point Training at Gmail is how to directly contact us as well.
Yeah, if you have questions for any classes, you want to host a class, we will travel to do classes. We just don't do them here in Kenosha. We can travel wherever people need us to travel to do any types of firearms training, hand-to-hand combat, knife fighting, self-defense classes, stranger danger classes, all of that. If you have any questions, you can always shoot them out to us at onpointtrainingllc@gmail.com, or you can find us on our website, and there is a spot on there where you can go to for any type of topics or questions.
Perfect. It was such a pleasure to have you guys on tonight, both of you. What an awesome show to learn some interesting things. And I hope those who are watching, who have tuned in tonight, or those who will tune in later, will pick some things up out of this and learn from some things that we have been discussing and talked about for the last couple hours. Yeah. So, and obviously, if you have any questions,
we better hook them up with our new sponsors, On Guard, that's coming up, because that's also about that hand-to-hand combat thing too.
Absolutely,
we got you.
Yeah, like if you want us to do this again and talk more intricate about different things, I mean, we obviously it's National Trap.
And I thought Racheal had her tongue tied earlier.
Keep a
yeah, we're trying to keep it geared towards that
and the grooming and whatever, but like, yes, absolutely, we are totally for that. Dennis is all about throwing me around the room all the time. That sounded bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, wait a minute, okay, is there some things we don't know? No, I'm just kidding.
Racheal, that's for next week's show. Relax.
I was like,
yeah, that's next week's show, right?
After dark show, but no, like we love showing off how to just do.
Yeah.
The bare minimum to do the maximum.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. And I would definitely look forward to having you guys back on because, I mean, this is very, very informative. Even if you don't have children, you could be a community watcher. You can, I mean, anyone can protect a child.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't necessarily mean
things like I never tell a child to yell for help. I always tell a child to, if you have to, yell the F word.
Yes.
Everybody's going to look at the kid yelling the F word, right?
Yes.
And when your kid goes missing at the carnival, stop yelling for Billy. Look around. Start yelling. Blonde hair. Blue shirt. Khaki pants. He goes by Billy. Start screaming out what your kid looks like because everybody will start looking for your kid.
Everybody will. Yes, absolutely.
If you're yelling Billy, no one knows who Billy is or what he looks
true. It's true. There's so much more to learn, you guys.
Oh my gosh, yes. This is just like I said, the tip of the iceberg. You really can only get a little bit of it. But we can do any type of podcast that you want with us, like on any of our classes, whether it's the medical classes, any of the canine type stuff, self-defense classes. We'd love to have you guys.
I just wanted to let you know that we had Lewis. Lewis, I love you. He's from Portugal, and he tuned in all the way from Portugal. So, you guys.
Good evening, Lewis.
All right, you guys. It was good to see you, and we'll catch up later. Dennis.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Love you guys.
Love
Have a
you
good
too.
night.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Have a good weekend. All right, that's another episode of Spittin' Fire with Racheal Blaze, and I rode this solo for an hour and a half, so I think I did pretty okay. What do you think, Steve?
I thought you'd be all right. You thought you were worried about it, but I thought you'd be fine.
Yeah, this was fun. It was very informative, good information, and it might be like a little touchy for others, but this is something that
I had to step out at the beginning because there were some parts of that I had some personal things I could have said something, but
yes. And so just a situation awareness and be aware of what's going on and check your children's phones and their computers. You're not being a bad parent by doing so. You're not their friend, you're their parent. So you guys, we wrap up another episode. So next Friday, tune in. We'll be back next time for the same time, Steve and I, and God knows who we're going to have on next week. I'm so excited. Anyway, guys, have a good weekend. We love you. Mwah.